Renault 16 TX 1973-80. The Renault 16, R16, is a D-segment family hatchback produced by French automaker Renault between 1965 and 1980 in Le Havre, France. The Renault 16 was the first successful hatchback body-style car in a market segment, previously exclusively dominated by three-box, bottom-range executive cars, and estates, selling approaching 2 million cars, all hatchbacks. In the early 1960s, Renault was building a series of small cars, like the hatchback Renault 4 and rear-engine Renault Dauphine, and aimed to replace its larger family car, the Renault Frégate model, 1951 to 1960, which had managed a modest production total of 163,383 units. The R16 was a great success, with 1,845,959 R16s produced during a production run of 15 years. The car sold well in most of Europe, winning praise for its spacious and comfortable interior as well as the practicality offered by its effectively unique hatchback body style. It was marketed in the United States, but was not successful and only a tiny number were sold. Under the skin, the layout of the R16 is similar to the Citroën traction Avant, front-wheel drive, engine mounted in line behind the transmission, torsion bar suspension, and column-mounted shift. In addition, the car had an aluminum engine and an electric cooling fan, both technical innovations. The big innovation was the modern, practical body style, introducing the hatchback to the midsize family segment. This allowed the interior to be immensely flexible, and could be configured in 7 different ways. This body style is halfway between a saloon and an estate, and, before the term hatchback was coined, journalists struggled to describe it. A review in the English Motoring Illustrated in May 1965, several months before the car was officially launched there, stated, "The Renault 16 can thus be described as a large family car, but one that is neither a 4-door saloon and nor is it quite an estate. But, importantly, it is a little different." One peculiarity of the R16, and later Renault 5, design is that the 2 back wheel axle shafts are not in line. The left wheelbase is 70 mm, 2.76 in, longer than the right wheelbase, to accommodate the torsion bar suspension. This and the soft front seats gives the car a particularly smooth ride even over big bumps. The suspension has the longest travel on a car of this size. If the handbrake is applied and reverse gear engaged, the rear bumper will rise about 1 foot. The engine was mounted longitudinally in the front, behind the gearbox, transaxle. This contributed to the handling and balance of this car by keeping the weight closer to the center of the car. Traditional front drive layouts are either transverse or sometimes longitudinally, but with the engine in front of the transmission. Although this north-south/forward gearbox layout gave excellent handling, servicing access to the engine was so difficult that the R16's successor, the Renault 20, kept the north-south layout but put the engine ahead of the gearbox. Gear changing was performed by means of a column-mounted lever which allowed for a more spacious front cabin. The column-mounted gear change, required by the position of the transmission in front of the engine, was rare in West European markets,